Hello, and Merry Christmas to all my Griffin artists. Today we're going to be working with air dry clay, and we're going to be making this, I think, really cute Frosty the Snowman pinch pot snowman bowl. So you can see here that these are what we call pinch pots, which is something that you do in the beginning of when you're working with clay. Almost the first thing you learn is really how to do a pinch pot. But we're connecting them together, 1, 2, 3, 3 pinch pots, and to form this 3 pinch potted snowman. And it's cute just like this, but it's also would be cute if you wanted, since it's a pinch pot, you could even put M&Ms in it and put it on your Christmas table. Isn't that cute? So let me show you how we're going to make this neat pinch pot snowman. Everybody should have a little hunk of, this is air dry clay, which means it dries in the air instead of having to put it in a kiln like a lot of pottery. And the great thing is we don't have to wait for it to dry for that long before it starts to harden, which is also a reason why I picked this. And it's not super messy because I know that you are doing this project at home. And so I didn't want to send you home with a lot of mess. That's my Christmas present to your parents. So let's start off by making our pinch pots. Actually, before we do that, let me just go over the supplies that you're going to need today for this video. One is your hunk of air dry clay, which should have gone home with you from school. The other thing that you're going to need is a Sharpie. Now, if you don't have a Sharpie, I'll get to that towards the end of the video. That's okay, because when you return these to school, which I am going to have you do, I'm going to have you bring this back to school for me to put the hat and the mittens on. I can do the eyes and the mouth for you if you don't have a Sharpie at home. You're going to really need a Sharpie for this because, or some sort of very strong marker, because a crayon won't work on this project. And you're going to need a scissors so that we can cut our paper into our carrot nose for Frosty. And then you're going to need little twigs from outside. So I'm assuming that you don't have the twigs already. So why don't you pause this video and run outside and try to find small twigs. See, this is very small to use on your snowman. And this twig is actually perfect because if you see up here, that looks like the perfect snowman hand. So I'm going to just take this part of the twig off. That's going to be one of my snowman hands. And let's see. I think I might take this and have this be my other part of my snowman's hands. Those are like the perfect little snowman's hands. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. So I'll put those aside for when I'm ready for them. But let's work on our snowman's body. Okay. So if you don't have your twigs, pause now, run out and get your twigs. If you have already gotten your twigs, great, let's get started. So you're going to need to make 3 equal size balls out of this clay. So that's going to take just a little bit of thought here. You're going to divide that ball into 3 other separate balls, okay? And you might need to have to kind of borrow from one to make the other bigger. Now, the snowman's head can be smaller, or you can make them all the same size, or you could do one large, one medium, and one small. For this, I kind of like having them be almost the same just because I wanted to be able to put M&Ms in this second little pinch pot there. So the way you're going to do your pinch pot is you're going to take one of your balls and you're going to roll it in your hands. You have probably done this with Play-Doh. I know that you did at the beginning of the year because remember we made our colors, or we made our colorful gumballs when we were mixing our Play-Doh to make secondary colors out of primary colors. So really, it just takes a little bit of playing around with, but you're taking that ball and you're rolling sort of your hands together so that you form a nice round ball. Okay? So I'm going to do that with each. And stop, and you can kind of work on it with your fingers. And I'm going to work quickly just because it's the video, but you might want to pause and pause the video and work on your clay balls and then unpause it. Okay, so here we have now our 3 separate clay pieces, okay, all balls there. And so now we're going to do the pinch part pot. So the reason why they call it a pinch pot is because you're going to be pinching, it's funny how things get their names, you're going to be pinching the clay and forming it into like a cup or a pot or a little tiny bowl. And the way you do this, you're going to take your thumb and you're going to press into the middle of that ball, and you take your pincher finger and you press the thumb and your finger together, and you just move around and around until you're creating like a cup or a bowl. Almost looks like something that you'd have in a dollhouse. And you just keep going around and around. And I even like to take my other fingers and kind of push down on the bottom of it so that it's not forming a point. And so now here we've got this little pinch pot. Let me show you again with this one. You start with your finger in the middle of the ball, you push it in to make a little indent, and then you start pinching the sides. Now, this is hard to teach on a video, and it's hard to teach when I'm not with you in person so that I can sit and help you. So the number one rule of this is to be very patient with yourself. Okay, you're just sort of learning how to do this. It might come easily to you, or it might be a little bit more difficult, and that's fine. It might take a little bit of time, but you will get the hang of it. It just takes a little bit of time to kind of get used to the material and how to make these. But from this pinch pot, lots of things you can make once you've learned how to do the pinch pot. Cups and bowls and all sorts of things. So here's my second pinch pot. We're going to do it again. Take your thumb, kind of push it in, and then start to pinch, and go around and around. I'm moving the pot with my other hand, and it's going round and round and round. See? And I'm just pinch. It's super, super simple. It just takes getting used to handling it. Now, if I want to make it a little bigger, I put both my thumbs in there. So you're just kind of going around and around and around. And as you're doing that, the pressure of your finger is going to push that clay aside, forming a hollow little bowl there. Okay. So there I have my 3 pinch pots. Now what I need to do is I need to pinch these pots together. I'm going to play around a little bit with the shape, make it a little bit bigger. I really like this top one for the head. I think that's perfect. I'm feeling pretty good about this one. If your sides collapse, then just crunch up your clay and start again. As you can see on here, that clay is starting to kind of get really cracked, and you just go over it with your finger and kind of smooth that out. But again, this is the type of thing where you can just start over again. As long as you keep that clay soft, you can work it and rework it. Once you're happy with the size of your pinch pots, you're going to go in now and you're going to pinch them together. We need them to be very pinched together, and kind of taking one piece and the other piece and making them connect really, really well so that they don't break apart. We want your piece to be solid. So you're going to take two pieces, and you're going to pinch those together like that. Did you see what I did there? I just pinched them together, and I'm going to pinch them together pretty firmly because I don't want them coming apart. Okay, I'm going to go over to the side and sort of pinch there, go over to the side and pinch there. And then what's going to happen is it's going to make that clay come up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend the tip of that down and pinch it again. Okay, just so that it's really well connected to that top piece. Okay, and that's what it'll look like in the back. So now I'm going to take my other piece and I'm going to pinch it together, the middle and the bottom part. Pinch that together, okay? Pinch it nice and hard so that it really, those two pieces connect really well. And remember, some of that's going to come up and you just bend that down and kind of fold it over and then keep pinching until you have all of those pots connected. Now you just work a little bit with the shape. Make sure your snowman is looking the way that you want it to. Look at the back here too. See, that's the way that it's going to harden, okay? And you see here, I had to pinch those sections together. And that's exactly what we did here, okay? Clay is also very forgiving, so if you don't like it, you just ball it up and start again. But once you get the hang of it, you really get the hang of it. All right, so there I have my snowman form. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to take my little snowman arms and I'm going to figure out how I want those to be positioned. Okay, so I'm going to go here. We don't want our snowman arms up here, although that would be cute for a reindeer if we ever do a reindeer. You don't want them down here. You want them right here. And you're just going to push that into your clay. You don't want it to go all the way through. You just want to push it in. You don't want it to come all the way through so that we see it on the inside. Just push it into that clay there on the side, and I'll show you. See, just pushed it right in there. Pushed it right in there. All right, so now we have the arms. Now we need to make this cute carrot nose, and all that is a piece of orange paper cut into the shape of a carrot. So everybody got this little piece of orange paper. You're going to take your scissors and you're going to make your carrot nose. There's no wrong way to make a carrot nose. The way I usually try to make it is like a really tall triangle shape, okay? Something like that. But you could even cut this and make this your carrot nose as well, okay? And you can hold it up and see, that's too big or that's too small. Okay, I think I like the one that doesn't have that really strong pointy tip. I think I kind of almost like this one better. I'm gonna make it just a little bit smaller, so it's about this size. And now I'm gonna go in, and since this clay is soft, I'm gonna be able to stick this paper right in. So you're just gonna take the paper and push it into the clay, and it's going to stand up. And when the clay dries, it's going to keep that nose stuck in. Okay, so you can see here, okay? It's stuck in there. You don't want to pull on it, but that little cute little carrot nose is in there just fine. And just like that, your pinch pot is done and needs to dry. So what's going to happen is when you wake up tomorrow or the next day, it's going to be nice and hard, and it's actually going to get lighter in color. You see, this is almost like an off-white or kind of like a dirty white color. It's actually going to get lighter as it dries and look more like snow. At first, I thought we'd need to paint these white, but when they dry, they actually become a perfect shade, and we don't need to worry about painting them. And as you can hear, it's nice and hard now. Okay, so yours will harden, and each of you has a paper plate. And what I want you to do is I want you to put your snowman on that paper plate, make sure that your name is on it, and let that snowman dry in your house. Bring the snowman back to school before next Thursday, okay? Because I come to school on next Thursday, and what I will do is I will put your snowman in a hat and gloves if you want them. Now, you might not want gloves if you have really cool kind of hands like this. Okay, so you can let me know. Your parents can email me and say, he wants mittens on the snowman or he doesn't. And I need to make sure that your name is on the plate that has your snowman. This is just sort of kind of the hoops that we have to jump through since we're doing this virtually. This is a hat, and it could have lots of different colors of hats, so that might be a different color. But another option is really cute earmuffs. So if you'd rather your snowman have earmuffs, I can do the earmuffs too. When your snowman hardens, that's when you take your Sharpie and you do 2 dots for the eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 5 little dots for the smile, but you can do the smile however you want. And then I did 3 little buttons, little kohl buttons. And you want to do that after it dries. If you don't have a Sharpie at home or something good, then I will do it when your snowman comes back to school. So, to conclude, let the snowman dry at home. Make sure that the snowman is on the paper plate and bring it back to school, maybe covered or in a plastic bag so it's protected so it doesn't break. And make sure that your name is on it so I know who to return it to. And I can do the hat and the gloves. If you have a Sharpie at home and you want to do the eyes and the buttons and you're happy with your snowman just like that, which is very cute too. So that would be the snowman without the hat and just with the arms. That's very cute, and you can do that as well. But if you want the hat and you want the earmuffs, I will happily do that for you. And you can make your snowman even more festive. And you can have your snowman just like that, or you can put M&Ms in your snowman. I hope you enjoyed this. I know that this is exciting to work with clay. It's a little bit tough when we're not in the classroom together, but I wanted you to have the opportunity to make something out of clay for Christmas. And certainly if you have any questions, please email me. I love hearing from you, and I can't wait to see how your snowman turn out. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I will see you soon. Merry Christmas to my Griffins.